22s. Got them 22s. Oh, hello. Apparently, I don't know where the music stopped. I'm cool with this. They said turn it off. I'm always saying they. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Anyways, what a day, what a day. Fucking yesterday was brutal. It was beautiful though. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Magnetism Master Builder 22. What the fuck, bro? Today is the day, huh? All right, let's check it. Let's read off what we got. Reading the fuck off. Gems of Sunlight. Today's beautiful. Recovery touch. We're always the creator of our reality. Don't ever fucking forget it. See the position. You have not only built the day, but your entire fucking life. Harness independence. It's using your alpha energy in this life so as not to allow the outside attachments to make decisions for you. We are never supposed to be outer directed or outer reactive. We should never allow the outside world to fucking dictate how we feel or our emotions ever, anyways, in that area in our life. Always knowing we come from the place within, so outside, and that's where it starts. So attachments to make decisions for you. Outside attachments, we make agreements. I'm not in the realm of promising shit, bro. Promises. That's where we have attachments. That means we could say commitments, what we do worldly, what we are bound to. Debt is one of those things that is just really weird when we go biblically and talk how we're not supposed to be in debt to anything, because those are attachments, those are ties. So of course we don't want to be making decisions upon those ties that we have pulling us or attached to. Energy within us, using it to create new opportunities. That is basically saying don't let these outside attachments hinder you from going forward and creating new opportunities, seeing new opportunities. A lot of people get stuck financially because they focus on their debit instead of focusing of generating new opportunities or creating new opportunities of generating money or new business ideas or new ways of conducting and generating money instead of paying off things. A lot of your focus goes to paying off things. You'll only use what you have to navigate how to pay off these certain things instead of putting all your time and energy into generating wealth and new opportunities business-wise to cultivate currency in your life. Alright, so opportunities not to destroy what you have already built. And not to destroy what you've already built. Dude, I don't know. So there are some constants in my life. There is a congruency, a red thread, if you will, throughout this entire journey that I have specifically protected. I have put a conduit around this red thread because I want a continuance through my journey. So the things that I do build that I want to carry throughout my life, I fucking put in this goddamn time capsule, if you will, this fucking guarded chest, this conduit, this red thread that is untouchable, unseeable to most, and I do not go near this area, and I reinforce those things that I have built, not to destroy. I reinforce continually speaking life to them. Being mindful that the new ways I navigate never interfere. There are non-negotiables in my life that will stay consistent. So if you don't have that, you will play in the realm of creating new opportunities, new realities to come about that might fucking step on your own foot in that nature if you haven't solidified that. Putting it over here, categorizing it, fucking locking it off, putting it there. It's not to be touched. I built this for a fucking reason, even though we are made to create, total, and destroy things. There still has to be a handful of set things you put off to the side that is never fucking challenged, that is a non-negotiable to even look at from the outside, because I built these to fucking stay throughout my entire journey till I fucking pass on out of this bitch. Alright, so opportunities not to destroy what you've already built. Masterfully build. This is your 22. This is today. This is the infinity. August. We got all sorts of fun shit for today. In the 23s, huh? We're not 26 in it, but alright. Yourself, mind, and your mindset to better conquer the world around you. The world is within you. If you conquer the world that is within you, you will be able to interact and play with the world around you. Having come from a solid state internally, mentally, spiritually, and then not looking at outside influences, not seeing others as fucking speaking to you, but speaking to their own life. Awesome way to fucking interact with your outside world around you. Make sure you have built a solid base and expanded upon. Know your parts and how they will be utilized in your journey. Know your parts. It's a fun one. I would love for him to expand on that. Know your parts. Expand. Let's see. Know your parts and how they can be utilized in your journey. These are probably those building blocks that I said that you can put in there. I said building blocks. That's a pretty good one. Always got to have a sound. Building block. Alright. Solid base to expand upon. The journey, they utilize in your journey. Use these steps to increase the total amount of your power. Power. They, thyself, can harness and control. Harness and control your own power. We're using these steps, or these parts that we secured in our journey, as steps to increase our total amount of power. This is those non-negotiables, not looking at. You fucking continually build them. They're almost building blocks. Continually building self energetically, spiritually, magnetism through the roof. You can do it. Thyself can harness and control. Some powers are not meant to be controlled but passed on or passed through. Sometimes we're just a conduit that it comes through and then out. It doesn't stay with us. Be mindful to call upon the source. Be mindful to call upon God, the supreme being, whatever you will, energetically in this realm outside. You can call upon it. It can come upon you. It can be bestowed. It could, if you're sensitive enough to be aware of it coming through, fucking rock it. But know that it's going to be gone soon. Sometimes those aren't what you have built. Those aren't those pieces or parts that you've used as steps to continually build your internal power, harnessing the control of it. Sometimes that power is bestowed upon you for certain things or activities or situations that you were unaware that you were going to be going into battle. Shit's a battle, bro. Shit's a battlefield. I mean, it's a loving ground, but there's no but. It's a loving ground. It's a battlefield. Same shit. It's one and the same. Harnessing controls. Use these steps of betting thyself to thus better. You should probably have said steps of bettering thyself to thus better take on the world. Use these steps of betting thyself. Unless, yeah, it might be a typo. Betting on thyself. I always bet on self, bro. I always wear my own jersey. Always wear my own jersey. So let's go. Creating the monetary opportunities you desire. Take these steps. I'm betting on thyself. You should say betting on thyself to thus better. Why'd you just change up into thus and they? I like it. I'm reading it. I'm coming at you in just 1 second of what I got going on, Mr. J's. Creating monetary opportunities you desire. Understand this responsibility to masterfully build thyself, leaving no option of failure. Failure is always an option because it's a growth. Failure is always an option. Success is always an outcome. Failure is always an option. Because it leads to success in other areas. It leads to victories and things that you did not know that you fucking needed to take on and become victorious in. I only think that there was 2 pages on this motherfucker for the 22nd. Let's go. Yeah, we got high powers, but more so master builders. Let's get at my devotion that I absolutely loved this morning that spoke about gleams of sunlight. This is your own power. This is Masterful Builders. August 22, because you have both longed to save my world, I let you have the training that shall fit you to take your pains and sufferings, difficulties and hardships each day, both of you. This is the man and spirit self, is how I undertake this. You can take it however you want. This is the left and right. This is the conscious, unconscious of a man. This is the inner and outer of a man. Both of you. I am 2, made of 3. We'll go into that. And offer them up for one troubled soul, or for some prayers specially needed to be answered. Because you have both longed to save my world, I let you have the training you shall need that fits you best to save, to take your pains and suffering, to difficulties and hardships each day, both of you, and offer them up for one troubled soul, or for some prayer specifically needed to be answered. So the beauty of each day will live on after the trouble and distress and difficulties and pains of the day that's past. Yesterday was a bitch. Yesterday was a bitch. I don't know what it was mentally in the evening, but I fucking ran it, and we're here, and just knew that it was going to pass. You know, I always wanted to be a grandfather before a dad. A really weird left field story, but it relates. I always noticed and admired one thing that certain grandfathers used to do, right, or I had seen done in specific older gentlemen. And it came fucking rad hand in hand being that old. It's like, hey man, I notice you guys, or this one in particular gentleman, I notice you go to bed early evenings, in the early evenings sometimes, and sometimes you excuse yourself and you just take off. Dude, it's super fucking early. What's up? And it was a really cool, eye-opening answer. Hey man, sometimes I just don't have that strength. I don't have the capability to interact kindly. I don't have the awareness in the moment to act in love and patience and kindness and resemble the person I aspire to become. So I excuse myself out of there, and I will just go to bed to know that this day is going to pass, that whatever is troubling me, whatever is not allowing me to interact, I'm going to excuse myself, even though life is about these precious moments, these present moments. I would rather miss a couple and excuse myself to bed and just, it's the evening, the day's done, I know I'm on for the next, than rather sit in there and try to cherish it and then ruin it for everybody. If I know myself enough, I'm not going to ruin the present moment for somebody else just because I'm jealous and wanting to have that moment shared or be up during that visit or be a part of this certain event. I would rather just excuse myself and go to bed if I'm irritated or can't find myself doing something. So, dude, word up. That was a rad answer. I would have never expected that. I just thought it was because you were old. He was like, that's the perfect excuse, though. Because I am a little on the elderly side. I can excuse myself and just for the night, in the evening. Have a good night, I'm going to go to bed now. So that's fucking beautiful. So the beauty of each day will live on after the trouble and distress, difficulty and pain of the day, after it is past. The beauty of each day will live on after. And why ruin it and spoil it? What is that saying? The rotten fruit, it only takes one rotten apple to fuck up the bag. If you're fucking feeling rotten, bro, be aware enough to excuse yourself. And some people might not understand that lesson because they want you a part of it so badly, not knowing that you're not in the greatest of spaces. Sometimes that happens. It's beautiful. Learn from my life and the sufferings that saves others. Learn from my life of the suffering that saves others, so you will sing in your pain across the grayest days. There are gleams of sunlight. Masterfully building for the 22s. Knowing that it's going to be painful and difficult sometimes, and you're going to go through hardships, but it's a 24-hour game. It's a fucking 24-hour game. And as we build up continually and stack these things and have congruencies through seasons of life and how you want to build, I mean, some people fucking, this is real talk, some people are still stuck in a wardrobe back in their teenage years, or some of that nature. I've seen some spun-offs that have wardrobes that just look like they're still in fucking high school or grade school. Or it's interesting when you start thinking as well. Not only do you see that in people, obviously in obvious areas like their wardrobe, you could say it's outdated or specific. You're like, oh, whoa, all right. But how many people you come across that isn't obvious mentally that they just stayed here? And I think the best person I heard speak to this was probably Ed Milet on some max out some max out video, which was rad. But he was just speaking to a story of a kid and his father going into a barber shop of some nature. Hey, what are you learning, kiddo? What grade are you in? Oh, how cool. And he took away from that interaction. As adults, if we're not pursuing some new career, or we're not engaging in reading books, or writing in journals, or taking thought and prayer, are we continually updating our knowledge, or are we just endlessly scrolling? Because that shit just leaves us low in dopamine and not fulfilled. But when we're continually learning things, we're purposefully growing in areas, we're searching out, dusting off cobwebs of how we compute things, it never stops. You're fucking 7 years old, going into, whatever, first grade, second grade. 8 years old, there's going to be a certain expectation that you're going to know a little bit more, or there's going to be an assumption that this takes place and involving in these certain years because we've been programmed through school. Hey man, this happens, this is what we learn, and then this is how a little bit more cognitive, and we just grow. It never fucking stops. The moment you stop is the moment You're just not operating towards your fullest potential. There's more gleams of sunlight in your dark days when you operate in that nature of finding new things, learning new things, reading about something new, engaging in imagination, creativity, learning. I'm telling you, never stop. You won't have a boring day. The moment you do is the moment you're gonna mourn for your loss, your capability of growth. It's gonna put a hindrance on happiness. Stay in a state of wonder and awe, childlike. Shit's awesome. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. If you can find somebody who brings that out in you, even better. So until tomorrow, your fucking 22-minute long rant on today's devotion with the reading of Jay's daily log. Cheers. Shit happens. Party hard. Just take the next fucking 22 seconds to appreciate life's hardships and the things that's never left you, that stayed congruent, building your power, building your source.